Pay per lead is the next method we're going to talk about. In this method of list building, you pay for every single lead provided to you. Now, this may be through a company, it may be through a service, it may be in a number of different ways. One way it can be is through a CPA network. If you've ever seen any of these cost per action offers, what you find is people will offer things like sign up, enter your email address for a free sample of I don't know, L'Oreal makeup or something like that, or some shampoo. But you can do something similar with internet marketing. You can offer a free report, free gift, or something like that for people giving you their email address. Now, with a CPA network, you can expect to pay $2 to $4 per lead, depending on how many hoops you make them jump through, maybe higher. A CPA network is going to require quite a substantial sum of money, so expect for them to ask you for a couple of $1,000s up front, particularly if you've never advertised on them before. But with a CPA network, you can get an awful lot of traffic if your offer's good and converts, particularly if it's easy for people to enter their email address. It does well, you can get a lot of traffic. There are companies and services that will offer you this pay per lead. They tend to be a bit more expensive, particularly if they're companies, but it depends upon the niche as to exactly how much it's going to cost you. But you need to ensure that the leads are genuine, and it's not some company feeding you either fake addresses or emails that they've harvested, or so on and so forth. So you do need to audit the results and be aware of what the leads are and whether they're genuine. If you find that you're getting lots of leads with funny email addresses, you need to double check them, because there may well be a problem. So make sure you keep an eye on them and check they're genuine. But also, if you're buying any leads from anywhere, check the source of them. Have they been harvested from sites or websites or forums, or are they just random collections of letters and numbers or names or something? What are they? Are they genuine leads? Have they come from people who have opted in to receive information and are aware that their email address is being sold? You need to really check that, because that could have a massive impact on your business. If the leads are spam, you've wasted your money. If they've been harvested, you've wasted your money. If they've been harvested and you email them, then potentially you've got a problem, because you just spammed, even though you bought them, because they haven't specifically opted in to your network. Now, I would honestly say to you, if you're going to do pay per lead, then you want to use one of the reliable services or a CPA network. That way, you're going to be sure that you're getting it. Now, it could cost you anything from a few dollars upwards. I mean, I've seen leads for sale for sort of $20 to $50, and those are in the business to business and financial niche, though, so they're obviously more valuable to people. But a lead could cost you quite a lot of money, but you've got to decide whether it's worthwhile. If you can pay $4 to acquire a lead, and you know that lead is going to spend on average $30 whilst they're on your list, it's worthwhile. But you need to understand those sort of metrics before you can really decide how much you can afford to pay per lead. But you have to make sure the leads are from genuine sources. I know I've said this before, I'm saying it again. It is absolutely vital. If they're not, then you run the risk of buying basically junk. I mean, I had someone contact me the other day. I was selling a product, and somebody contacted me a couple of months ago now, actually, and said, look, I really want your product, but I can't afford to buy it. Tell you what, I've got this database of 6 million email addresses. I will give it to you in exchange for your product. I sort of thought, 6 million email addresses, that's a lot. I sort of inquired a bit, talked about where they came from, found out what they were just harvested from places like AOL and Hotmail and Yahoo and so on. So it was a lot of email addresses, but had I sent anything to them, it would have been pure spam. I'd have been in a lot of trouble. So you need to make sure the leads are from genuine sources, because otherwise you run the risk of getting your business shut down, of being blacklisted, and being accused of being a spammer. And worst case, by the way, of being accused of being a spammer, you end up in jail with all your assets taken away. Now, you need to make sure that they will opt into your list. Now, depending on the process, you may just get a load of email addresses that you import. Not all autoresponders will allow you to do that, and if they do, they will insist that they opt in. But you've got to make sure that they will opt into your list. Now, you may well offer them a bribe or some sort of gift in order to do so. There are a lot of disreputable sources. A lot of people that will sell you harvested and spam email addresses. An awful lot of people. If someone comes to you and starts saying, look, I'll give you 1,000,000 email addresses for $100, you know you're in trouble. You really do. That's someone to avoid. They're selling you junk email addresses. Reputable sources will charge you a decent amount of money per lead. You're not going to get 1,000,000 email addresses for $100 from a reputable company. Period. You do have to be very careful about it. But whatever you do, never ever buy a list of harvested email addresses. The response rate will be dreadful. The complaint rate will be massive, and you could end up losing a server or a hosting account, which is the last thing that you want to do. But when you get somebody by paper lead, just like with a giveaway and co-registration, you need to build a relationship with them. You need for them to get to know you as a person, to understand you, and for them to learn to trust you as being a valued advisor and not just somebody who wants to raid their wallet. So work with them to build a relationship. Pay-per-click is actually a good way of building a paper lead is a good way of building a list, providing and only providing they are genuine emails that are going to opt into your list. If they're not, then potentially you're going to run into a problem. But consider pay-per-lead. Be aware that you may well have to come up with quite a lot of money up front, several $1,000s possibly, but it is good and it will get you a lot of people very quickly.